She tried to run somebody over with her car, and the guy defended himself when that happened. Next question.
That is the sound of panic. A vice president melting down in fear that his position as heir apparent to the decaying, demented old queen, a position that he thought was so solidified, might be fading away. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network.
I'm sorry, guys. What's going on here? You guys are meant to report the truth. How have you let yourself become agents of propaganda of a radical fringe that's making it harder for us to enforce our laws? You just asked me a question that presumed that the reason why this woman died is because she was engaged in legitimate protest. She tried to run somebody over with her car, and the guy defended himself when that happened. Next question.
The Trump regime is doing everything it can to spin absurd lies about the murder of Renee Nicole Good. What looked to me and to millions of others like the intentional point-blank shooting of a young mom who was doing nothing other than trying to escape the terrifying situation that these stormtroopers put her in.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face.
Someone on Threads wanted to make sure that the Trump gaslighting wasn't landing on the rest of the world. So they posted this: non-United States people, please tell me that you're seeing the truth today. I need to know that the outside world sees what's happening. And one after another, people from around the world began to weigh in. The UK here, yes, we see it. Kudos to the mayor who told ICE to get the fuck out of Minneapolis. The whole country needs to come out and protest. This is the violent authoritarianism that they apparently needed to save Venezuela from. I'm crying for that poor woman, her child, and the way your country has been stolen by fascists. German here, we see it, how she wanted to give them space on the winter ice street, waving them to pass, how they went to her car, preparing to shoot her, and how he murdered her, not letting a medical professional look after her. And we saw Noam standing in front of the press, spreading lies about it. Norway here, all of our news has shown the original video, and they are all talking about how fucked up America has become. We are all horrified. The fascism is real. There is no hiding from it anymore. I hope you realize what's going to happen if people don't stand up. I'm really sorry for you guys. This is bad. Canada is seeing a U.S. citizen in their vehicle pulling out, and suddenly vehicles are in the road. She waves them on to pass and take the right of way. One vehicle passes, the next doesn't pass. Masked men emerge and approach Renee's vehicle, yelling for her to get out of the car. One masked man pulls his gun. Renee turns her wheels away from the masked men and attempts to drive away. Renee is shot at point blank range by a masked man 3 times. Cold-blooded murder. And the responses went on from around the globe. You know, Vance and Noam and Hitler's reincarnation and Stephen Miller are pissed that their lies aren't being sucked up the way that the Fox cult inhales them. And I don't know if the wheels might be starting to wiggle on this sadistic regime, but we are still very much so in the fight of our lives here as American citizens. So it's more important than ever that we remain as calm as we possibly can under these horrifying circumstances and carry on, because any excuse and these monsters will pounce. The Trump regime is looking to escalate, and we cannot give them the blood bait that they are seeking. Perfect example of how to handle a situation with these goons is this guy, a Somali Uber driver in Minneapolis whom I called a legend the second I saw his story when it appeared on X. Here he is surrounded by some, 20, 30 ICE agents as he's waiting in the rideshare lane at the Minneapolis airport, and he carries on cool as a cucumber.
Why would I not be a citizen of this country, man?
What a ridiculous question. Why would I have an immigration?
Are you a citizen? Listen, I'm here working. You're working too, right? So go. It says U.S. Border Patrol. This is not the border. Go to the Canada border or the Mexico border. I'm working, dude.
If you were from this country,
what do you mean? What do you mean if I'm from this country?
I can hear you don't have the same accent as me. That's why I'm.
Oh, so you're going by accents now?
A couple of things about this. He's highly educated, speaks multiple languages. These thugs, most of them probably barely graduated high school. They are clearly white supremacists, and he's just owning them. And by remaining calm, he's protecting his safety, the other Somali drivers around him, and very likely preserving his own life.
Why are you guys doing this?
You tell me, sir.
Why are you guys going around just asking people like at work whether they're U.S. citizens or not? I've seen this guy on TikTok. Look at him. He got gas canisters and shit. What's up, officer? What's going on? How you doing?
I have better than I deserve.
You know, one of my favorite parts about this is that he has integrity and he's demonstrating it. He's an engineer by his education, but he's doing an honest day's work as opposed to these Nazi ghouls. And on God, a day of justice is coming. I'm affirming that to the universe. His bravery in the face of their pathetic, racist bullying is something to behold, and it warms my heart. By the way, one of the goons there is head field commander of the ICE agents, Greg Bavino, total bozo. He travels around to all of the different areas where ICE agent shows up. And here he is walking around with 5 canisters around his vest with his stupid haircut. He has been busted for lying in a Chicago federal court deposition for throwing tear gas canisters into a crowd of people in the Chicago suburbs, a crowd that also had many children in it. I mean, he's a liar. Greg Bavino is a liar. So when Democrats take power back, Greg Bavino better be first up in the line of fascists for the damage that this regime has caused. He needs to be held accountable for his crimes against humanity. Under Kristi Noem's direction and Greg Bavino's field command, 2025 was the deadliest year for ICE in 2 decades. 32 people died in ICE custody. The Guardian, a fantastic independent news outlet, has been tracking all of the deaths under ICE and DHS. Kudos to them. Tracking the depravity of ICE and the Department of Homeland Security. This is so important. It's going to matter on the day of accountability for these criminals, these monsters. Another wonderful news outlet, it's nonprofit, the Block Club of Chicago. I've been following their news outlet ever since ICE agents started showing up and terrorizing people in Chicago. Here, what their headline says. First, there was, obviously the murder of Renee Good. But before these agents killed her, they also killed a father in Chicago right after he dropped off his 2 young sons at school. And these agents also shot a woman 5 times in Chicago. And in both of these cases, these agents lied about the incident, absolutely blatantly lied about the circumstances. So this is why, you guys, it is critical for us to continue documenting all of these incidents. I mean, we can see that clearly with the Renee Good incident. They are lying. And if not for good citizens documenting with our cameras and our eyewitnesses, they would be getting away with this. But because we have it documented with our cameras, our phones, etc., and multiple angles of us doing this, they're not going to get away with it because they're lying about what we're seeing with our own eyes. So continue to do that. Trump is not deporting criminals. He's hiring them as part of his private terrorism army. Listen to Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey talk about who's exactly responsible for driving crime numbers up in his city.
What did they say when they came in here? What has this administration stated as their reason for coming into cities around the country? The reason that they've stated, safety, driving down crime. We'll let our statistics speak for the trajectory. They are clearly driving crime up. Up until last night, we hadn't had any shootings in this city other than ICE. Our city is safe. Our city is welcoming. They are making it less so.
They're dragging employees out of Target.
Hey, where's the shit? Christian, do you have somebody you want us to call? My mom. What's her number?
Hey, all border vacation. Go to hell, dude. That's some bullshit. They have border patrol. Christian?
Employees who had passports in their pocket, they don't care. They don't give a shit. Yes, it is super scary and terrifying, and that's exactly what they want. I believe the end game for Trump and Stephen Miller and all of these goons is to incite the American population so that they can enact martial law. the Insurrection Act. That's what Trump has been salivating over since day one. So our job, as hard as it is to not let them get their way. Here are a couple of things that you can do to take control back from these monsters. First of all, I strongly recommend that you follow and donate to the ACLU. They are doing the Lord's work right now. They have attorneys that are in court fighting this corrupt regime. So join them. They have guides, and they can guide us and help us to know what our legal rights are. And like I said, they are fighting in court. One of the many groups that is doing that. Join an Indivisible group. I cannot recommend this strongly enough. They have chapters popping up every single day around the country. And you can do the weekly call, What's the Plan, with Leah and Ezra. It's wonderful. They guide you. They tell you, here's what we're doing next. And they have wonderful guidelines in all of the indivisible chapters around the country, telling you what's legal, what's safe, and helping each of us protect each other. And the great thing is being connected to like-minded people, because the worst thing to do right now is to become isolated. And, we need to stick together in the face of this fascism. And then, thirdly, call your reps. This is so easy to do, but it really matters. I am a pest. I call my representatives all the time. I have a MAGA representative. Yeah, of course she's in the cult, but I'm still calling her. These offices count the number of phone calls they get. And yes, it does matter. Just yesterday, 17 Republicans crossed over with Dems to advance ACA subsidies. So it does matter, okay? These people care about being in power. So let them know that they're on notice and they're going to be fired if they don't. And the same for Democrats. I have 2 Democratic senators. I told them, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. Strongly worded letters and statements are not enough. You need to be fierce. You need to fight back. You cannot sign off on anything that this corrupt regime is doing. Stop confirming anything that the Trump regime is doing. So call your reps every day if you can, at least weekly. I'm telling you, they literally count the phone calls. And then lastly, and this is a word for my fellow empaths, this is heavy and hard, what we're walking through right now. And empaths and neurodivergent people, we carry the sadness of the world in a very different way. Some people can look at what's happening and be like, yeah, that's sad. It's a bummer. But for those of us who are true empaths, we literally absorb the trauma of what's happening and internalize it, and it wrecks us. And so I am telling myself this, but this is very important for you guys who are like me. Take a break from the news cycle, because it's an onslaught hourly, constantly. Get outside. Hug your kid, hug your partner, hug your dog. Get outside, breathe in nature, meditate or pray, whatever helps you calm down. Take a deep breath, something I have to remind myself to do because I can get a little bit wild with all of this. Take care of yourself. Self-care is so important at this time, and please don't isolate, okay? All right, as always, remain fierce, but breathe in some peace during this horrible time that we're all going through. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you back here soon.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.